Yeah, good morning, Mr. Akin.
Good evening, Mr. Akin.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought I was muted. Good evening, everyone. Yeah. Good morning to the guy that. All right. So welcome to class today. Whew. So hope you have had time to do some revisions.
Yes, please.
All right. All right. So welcome to class. So let's continue to. Yeah. What are we doing? Give me 1 second. So this Linux class. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. We started permissions. All right, so we'll continue with permissions. Let's go into cloud and load our work system. All right, so share screen. 1 second. All right, so I'm ready. All right, so let's load our AWS. What are we? Sign in. Let's load our EC2 for practice. EC2. All right. Do we have any instance running? No instance running. Okay. So let's set up one. Launch instance. What name do we call it? Server 4. AWS. Let's use the familiar key pair 1, and that's it. Our SSH port is open. Yeah. Okay, so launch instance. Our instance is launched. Let's go to the instance.
Sorry, you can see your screen, please.
You can't see my screen. Which of them? What are you seeing?
It looks like it's frozen.
Yes, we could just see the AWS platform, but nothing is moving.
Everything is frozen. It's not
Really?
showing halfway. It's just showing
let
the not the internal.
Okay, let me see if I can refresh.
Yeah.
Any difference?
No, sir.
Not so.
Let's try another method.
I think you might need to share and share again.
Okay, let me try. So, resume share. Oh, it was stuck. Sorry about that. Can you see now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So that's our EC2, our instance. So to SSH, we just quickly grab the public IP address. So go to networking, copy public IP address. For now, I'm still continuing with mobile step. If you have the other one, of course, you know it's the same thing. We'll just load my mobile extern and then put. I deliberately want to repeat this all the time, so at least what scenario you know how to do this. All right, so EC2 user 422. My key and padlock is key pair one. Yeah, that one. Ready. All right, so let's start. So
Yes,
we're talking about.
we can see the mobile demo. What we can see is the browser.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
we
can
can
see
see
the
the
browser.
mouse.
Give me 1 second. Share screen. Okay. Can you see this now?
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Position it so we don't keep moving it. All right, so clear the screen. History. We have not entered any command other than these 2 commands. Okay, history of the commands I will enter. Where are we? I already know that we're in the home directory of the currently logged on user, EC2, and EC2 is logged on. Okay, what do we have in here? ls minus LA, or if you are better with LL, but I just do ls minus LA. I still prefer that personally because it gives me all of these details, which as you progress to DevOps, you'll see they are useful to do. All right, so the slate is clean. Now we're talking about assigning user permissions. Yeah, we'll come back to your revision, but let's just start first. If you have any question, I'll give you time to ask. So right now, what users do we have? Let's see, what users above ID 1000? That will be cat. What's the user file? List of user file. Let's see, pass one. All right, so above 1000, nothing. So we have not created any user accounts. Okay, let's quickly create user accounts so that we can use that to practice. You remember how to create user accounts?
Sudo password users.
All right, sudo. Did you say password? Sudo what?
Add user.
Oh, sorry.
User
Sudo
add.
yes, user add. User add.
All right.
Sorry.
All right, so let's create user add Joe. And then password for Joe, sudo password.
Typo.
What? Oh, sudo.
You put P instead of O.
Yeah, sudo password Joe. All right, so what? Let's use the consistent password 2022, and then daily 2022. All right, good. Now we'll have a user account. I mean, at least one user account. Let's create file in the name of that user account. So let's change to that user, switch user to Joe. Joe's password is daily 2020. Oh, was it 2020? No. It was daily 2022. Okay. Are we there? Oh, okay. So that's the password, but I didn't wait for password. Okay. So let's do switch user to, and then daily 2022. All right, so we're Joe now. So whatever we do now, it will be Joe. So what it will be under the name Joe. What directory are we in?
And
We'll go to Joe's directory. I mean, to go to the directory of the current user. The command is cd.
CD.
Oh, yeah, we are now in the current user. All right, so let's create file. Many ways to create file. Just by way of practice, let's use the long way, vi file 1. And then we'll put something there, I to put something there.
Okay, we didn't type file 1, we typed something different.
Okay, we just use the name that we type. All right, so escape. Remember that? Right Q to bank, then press enter. Oh, okay. Okay, by the way, how do we rename this file? Remember how to rename file if we have not done it. So to rename is move. Move FL1 to file 1. That's the way to rename this file to that file. So if we do ls minus LA, what we have now is file 1. So we corrected that mistake. All right. We'll clear the screen so you all can see. Let me allow this people in. Okay, everyone is in. All right. So we created a file. Let's see that file, ls minus LA. So look at the file, file 1. So what's the interpretation? This is what we're coming to. What do you understand? So this file is owned by the user, Joe. All right, that's the meaning of that statement. File 1 is owned by the user, Joe, and then by the group, Joe. All right. So who has this permission? First of all, this means that it's a file. Somebody identified that. What about L? Well, to differentiate between this kind of file and the file that has L there, we call this a regular file. All right. So this is a regular file. It means that the first 3 bits control is the control for the owner. Second 3 bits control for the group, and then the third 3 bits control for others, everyone else. So for this one, it means that this file can be read and written to, but not executable for the user, Joe. All right. So the second 3 bits, what do they mean? The second set of 3 bits means that every member of the group, Joe, will be able to read, write, and execute.
Not execute.
Yeah, not execute, yeah. Then everyone else that is neither here nor there would only be able to read. So from this, do you now understand that even as EC2, I shouldn't even bother to use this file because I will not be able to do anything with this file other than read, because as EC2 user, I am neither here nor there, right? So did you get that? So it's no use trying to switch user to EC2 or any other user, and then you want to correct this file. All right. So who can correct this file? Only Joe, because to correct means to modify, means to write. So only Joe and anyone else who is a member of Joe directory. All right. So the assignment now is, I want anyone else, you suggest the person, to be able to edit this file, to write to this file, but not Joe. What do you do?
Going to be root as a root.
Yeah, aside root and Joe.
We have to add group add
We
to
have to
Joe.
get group.
Yeah, just explain without the command. I will know what command.
Okay, you create another user and have that
beautiful.
user to the group, Joe.
Awesome, beautiful. That's a good one. That's a good one. Not the only way always. There's always more than one way. But
Yeah, you can
let's
also add
adopt that
a
one.
preview.
Yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough.
Another
So carry other
privilege.
people. Okay, so let's go. How many people are here, by the way? So the rest of you, are you following? So let's adopt that first suggestion. So to create, what he's saying is, let us create another user, maybe David, and then add David to the group, Joe, so that David will belong here, because that's for the group, right? So whoever belongs to the group will now be able to write as well as read. Okay, so let's do that. So let's quickly do that. Can Joe do this? Let's find out if Joe can do this. What's the command to find out if Joe can create a user, David, and assign permission to that user? What's the command to find out?
Groups.
Groups or yes, groups, Joe, or ID, any of them. All right. Oh, sorry, groups is not Western. So ID will be easier to do. So that is the user ID for Joe as a user, ID as a group, and nothing else, no will. All right, so Joe cannot do it. So let us first of all put Joe in a position to do this task, to perform this. So to do that, he will call the root. So I come in as the root, and I quickly say switch user sudo su. All right. Password for Joe.
2022.
Okay. Not sure. Okay. The problem is Joe is not even, yeah. You remember this? So let's use another method. Remember, you are familiar with it. Let me let these people in, then continue. All right, so EC2, so switch user to sudo su. Actually, EC2 could have done it because EC2 has sudo power. Okay, let EC2 do it. EC2 user, that's right. Let this user perform the task. You know what the task is? To make Joe a sudoer so that Joe will not be the one to perform the task. All right, so the command is sudo
user mode.
User mode.
Okay. AG.
AG. I hope you guys are following this just for revision so that you, all right, then the user Joe to the group will. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Will.
No, we are not using the will. We should be using Joe. We're trying to add to group Joe.
Is it X?
Oh, okay. Not yet. So sudo user mode add to will.
Will before Joe.
Oh, Joe. Okay.
Yeah, take note. Yeah. All right. It's good to make mistakes so that I know how to do it. And there's no really penalty for making mistake. If you don't get it one week, find out what the problem is, and then we'll know how. All right. So now that Joe is a sudoer, which is confirmed by ID Joe, because it's not Joe that is logged in, so we have to put Joe in front. Otherwise, without that, it will be giving us the ID of EC2 user. All right, so for Joe is a sudoer. Good. All right, so EC2, you can go now and let Joe take over. So switch user to Joe.
Joe.
And what's Joe's password?
Delete 2022.
All right, Joe is in charge now. So let Joe do the work. So the work is to create a user and make that user a member of Joe group. So to create a user, Joe will say sudo user add Dave. All right, what's your password? Daily.
Delete 2022.
All right. So is Dave created? Well, by way of revision, let's quickly find out. We know it's there, but just it will be cat etc. Then
Password.
Yeah, Dave was created 1002, and then that was created for Joe. Okay, cool. So let's clear. Then now let's make Dave a member of the Joe group. All right. So the command is sudo user mod, just like you gave me the last. In fact, let's use that just like that one. This one. Oh, it wasn't Joe that entered it. Okay. So the command is sudo user add -ag
user mode
to the group. So user mod, okay. User modify. MOD, correct?
Yes.
All right. So user modify
Will.
Joe this time.
Yeah.
And who is the user?
Dave.
Dave. All right. That's good. That's good. So that is
what did that do again?
That added the user Dave to the group Joe.
Okay.
All right. So now let's test and see if all of this makes sense. So ls minus la. What are we?
29.
Huh? What are we? Okay, well, permission is denied because Joe is attempting to work in somebody else's folder. Yeah. All right. So let's go to Joe. What's the command? cd. All right. So Joe is now in Joe. So we should be good. So what's the command? ls minus la. Now look at the file. All right. So that is the file. So we want to test Dave. We want to log in as Dave and see if we can edit this file 1. Because from what we see here, like already explained, only we want to use this this criteria, so to speak, to access that. So we already make Dave. a member of this group. All right.
Yeah.
We want to test this. Is it working? All right, let's quickly test it. I hope you understand the problem.
Yes.
By this page, we are working together so that you get the operational perspective to this. So it's not just running command. We're now seeing how are these commands used, where are they relevant. All right, everyone here. I mean, people who don't talk, are you following?
You're not added
Yes.
password.
Yes, sir, we are.
All right. Okay, so let's do it now. So switch user to
Dave.
Dave.
I thought you needed to add password for them.
Okay, I thought we didn't do that. Okay, let's
We didn't do that. We didn't do that.
Thank you. So sudo password Dave. All right. New password. Let's use the same password. Daily 2020. Yeah, daily 20. Daily 2022. All right, looks good. All right. So clear screen so everybody can see. There. All right. Now that we've added password, now let's handle the baiting over to. How do we do that? Which user to
This to Dave.
Dave. All right. What's Dave's password to? Awesome. So we are Dave now, but we are still working in Joe's directory. So this is the test. Usually we want to go to Dave's directory by typing CD, but this time we are staying in Joe's directory. And then we are attempting to work in Joe's directory because we are a member of that group. Okay, let's see. So ls minus. Okay, yeah, we don't have access to the whole. I understand that because of that difference. But let's go straight to the file. We know that the file exists. So let's say, how do you want to access the file? The best way would be VI, right? Let's VI the file that we already know is inside Joe. What's the name of that file? File one. Ideally, you should say, no, you do not have permission to access the file in somebody else's directory. So let's see. You did not say. Oh, you say so. Permission denied.
Permission denied.
Yeah, so what's the problem? Let's see. Control. Q. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Let's
let's see the out of Joe completely.
So sudo
no, CD out of Joe because Joe is still like
see what?
CD out of Joe.
No, I want to remain in Joe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what's the best way to do this? What's the name of that file? Did you get that name right? Is it file one?
Yeah,
file one. Yeah.
So that name was right. Okay. So we have read and write permission. Okay. So cat file one. And where's file one? We didn't give the okay, I think that was the problem. Where's file one? File one is in
home / Joe.
Joe, yeah, Joe. Okay.
Space.
Okay, let me get that.
I think we need space before.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get back to that file and find out what the problem is. So switch user to Joe. Joe is daily 2020. I didn't get that right. Switch user to Joe. Daily 2022. All right, so we're in Joe now. ls minus la to file one. File one. Okay, so file one is there. And what is the print working directory? So this is home Joe. All right. So cat home Joe file one. I just typed, oh, there's nothing inside. Okay. We didn't put something inside.
Just anything will do. There's space between.
Oh, okay, just anything. Okay, yeah, it's there. Okay, so now we know that now we have this part to copy. Okay, we'll not clear the screen so that I can copy that. Now let's switch user to Dave.
Dave.
All right, so this is Dave now. All right. So, okay, as somebody was saying, I think let's get out of Joe. Okay. Yeah, let's get out of Joe. That person was right. So we are now working from Dave. Now, even as we are working from Dave, let us attempt to do this now. I mean, this same thing that gave us results earlier on, let us do it.
Oh, you're not putting one.
File 1, right?
Yes.
Yes.
File 1.
There's still an error. You didn't put
The slash.
/ after after
Joe
Joe.
slash.
It doesn't really matter.
And
Sudo password for Dave.
2022.
there's a space after file 1. Yeah, take the space after file 1. Yeah.
Oh.
Good. There we go.
Okay, so Dave is what's going on? Okay. Something is missing. Let me try this and then. So permission denied sudo cat. We should be able to view that file. At least sudo cat.
No, I know the problem. The problem
What's the
is we added Dave to Joe's primary group. We didn't add Dave to the wheel group.
To the wheel, I was thinking of that.
All right, so let's identify that problem. I didn't get that, but let's clear the screen and start all over. All right, password for Dave. We don't have that, so Control Z. So you are saying, let's see what groups does Dave belong to? Is that what you mean? All right, so
yes.
okay, so you cannot use cannot be a sudo. All right, good observation. All right, so let's add Dave to wheel group. Who will do that?
Joe.
If you can do or Joe. Okay, so switch user to Joe again. Password daily 2020. Let's do it again. Switch user to Joe. Password for Joe is daily
2022.
Oh, okay. I keep saying 2020. All right. So we are. So let's do that. So Joe is fine now. Clear. Are we good?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So assign the permission now. Make Joe a sudo. I mean Dave. What's the password?
User mode.
User mode.
Dave minus
AG. Okay.
Wheels Dave.
Wheel.
Then
Dave. Okay. All right. Oh no, we should have entered password. Let's do that again. So password is day 2022. All right, so done, right? So groups Dave. Awesome. So Dave is a wheel person. I mean, it's a sudo now. I prefer to do sudo, or a member of wheel group, and therefore can use sudo. Okay, so let's try again. Thank you for that observation. Any other observation? Something you need us to quickly check? Okay, let's try this. Then if we have problem, we'll try and troubleshoot. So we are trying to say that Dave should be able to access that file. Okay, let's try. So where is the place? Who should be working? Dave, right? So switch that to Dave. And then daily. So Dave is working now. Dave should not be in this directory.
CD.
So go to your own directory. All right. So now that Dave is in his own directory, he should be able to access that file and work with it. So let's try. So sudo now. Sudo is valid this time. And where's the file? The file is in home, then where? Joe.
Directory. Mhm.
All
Then
right.
we need to cut it.
Instead of sudo.
Okay, yeah. Sudo cat. And then what? What's the name of the file?
File1. File1.
Okay, no space here. No space, right? Like somebody was saying, no
Yes.
space.
Yeah.
So it's one long part name. That's the correct way. All right. So that's it.
Since it's
So what's the password for the
2022.
Delete 2022.
Delete 2022.
Awesome. So that's it. All right. So you all follow that. You know how we got it. That's the correct way.
I wanted to ask, since David is in the groups where we don't actually need the sudo.
Okay. So let's try without the sudo. Let's try without the sudo.
So someone is trying to get into the class.
Yeah, we'll allow them. Just focus on it. I don't think. All right. So yes. So maybe you just add that to the vocabulary to mean that whoever is attempting to go into somebody else's property, sudo is necessary.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I know ideally, but of course, at some advanced level, you can you might want to make that permanent. You see it in but for now, yeah, I understand the perspective you are reasoning from. I agree with that, but for now. All right, any other question on the relation? All right, so yeah.
1 minute, sir. So do we really need the sudo or we don't need it? That's what
For now you
We
need
need
it,
it.
but yes, but later on there's a way to make it permanent so that you can factorize the sudo so that you not be using it. So both are correct in the way that there's some advanced way to hide this so that you can do it without it. But for now, the explanation for using it is that Dave is attempting, Dave should only have access to his own directory and properties. But right now he's attempting from somebody else's, he's attempting to edit somebody else's file, even though he has permission, he still needs to do.
Oh, we're trying to edit it. Maybe we can do it. That's what got us here.
Okay, yeah, we should be able to do it.
The file.
Yeah. So instead of cat, you want to VI, right?
VI, yeah.
All right. So if we save now, will it allow to save? That's the question. So I for insert.
Yes, should.
So we it allow. All right, so let's save and see. Control, no, not control. Escape, colon, right, quit, back. All right, so it works. All right, so that's fine. Let's try one more or two more permission related examples.
So just a quick one, sir. You don't have to use VI. You said we can always use the Vim we used to, like that one is more easier than VI, right?
Yeah, VI, Vim, and Nano, they all do the same thing. So choose anyone you like. They are
the step in the VI is a little bit, you know.
Yeah, but me being an old school, yeah, I'm just familiar with that. Yeah. And then of course, you also see later on when you advance, when you learn some advanced, not necessarily commands, but everyday use, you see that it may not even be necessary to VI at all. To use any of those things, you can manipulate your echo to go in there, and you can manipulate echo in so many ways to go in there and do stuff. All right, but these are different, they are just options. All right, so let's look around. Okay, so what are we? This is Dave. Let's work as a, yeah, Dave is a pseudo, ID. Yeah, we can work with Dave. Now, the next thing we want to do, let's look at ls minus L. ls minus L is good. ls minus L, it will show all files, and principally you are seeing hidden files with a dot. Let's experiment. Let Dave create a file. What do you want to do with it? Let you barely be repeating what we already know. Let's do something more complex. So Let's create a group. How do we create group?
G sudo G password.
No, group.
Oh, group, sorry, group add.
Yes,
Group add.
group add.
Okay, group add trainees. All right. So ls minus la. So sudo group add trainees. We have created a group. And then let's create 2 more users. Sudo user add. Okay, we have Dave, we have any other simple name, Henry?
Mark.
Mark, okay. All right, so we have 2 more users. Let's add these 2 users to the group trainees. All right, so what's the command?
User move.
Remember, check your note.
User mode.
All right, sudo user mode. It's the same command we'll be using now. Minus AG.
Yeah.
But this time we're adding 2 trainees, right? And then we're adding 2. Let's add the 2 users at the same time. Henry, so what do we do? Remember?
Space.
Okay.
Mark.
You sure?
Yeah.
But there was comma somewhere.
Any comma.
No, no comma. No comma.
Okay, let's try.
Okay, comma. Yeah, comma.
Okay, so Mark AG Henry. Oh, the command is not. Yeah. Sudo user mode minus. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so we're not getting. I'm not.
You left the mark. You left the comma.
Okay, let's try without comma.
That comma.
That's
Correct.
correct.
Did it work? Yeah, I think it worked.
It worked.
All right, so correct. You already have it in your node, though, but it's just that we're not looking at node. So without comma. So let's see. The group. What's the name of the group? Trainees, right?
Yeah, trainees.
How do we find out who are members of this group from the command, from your note? You don't have to know everything.
Parts.
Yes, you remember this command? Get int.
So get it. Yeah. But that's not correct.
Get what?
Enterprise.
Yeah, get int.
Get int. Group training.
Get int. Trainees. What's the problem? Trainees.
You didn't write group.
I think the spelling.
I think we do the get tent groups.
Group, then the training.
Yeah.
Actually, we don't need the trainee. We just need the group.
Yeah, we don't.
Yes, just get into group.
Get tent trainees. That's what you mean?
Oh, it's not correct.
Huh? Get tent.
Get tent is not correct.
Get tent. It's get tent enterprise.
Is that what you mean?
No.
Look at your notes now. We did it last time. Just check your note. Check your note.
We need a group, not trainees.
Sudo get ent group trainees.
Okay. Sudo get ent group trainees. All right. Is that what you want? It did give you a result, but is that the result you want? So there's a group.
That's a good one, but we can also check all the groups by not putting the trainees.
No, okay.
I'll put it, yes.
Is that what you want?
Yes.
Okay, that's what you want, but this is not what I had in mind. Sudo get ent group. Okay, I'll check the. All right, so all the commands are valid commands, but the thing I really wanted is not showing. Okay. So it will be. Let me just look around and see if I can quickly do that. Get in. ID groups Akin. Get in group. Okay, I'll not let that one wait our time, but there's a command that's That's doing what I really want to do, but get into group. Yeah. Group. Okay, that's not exactly what I want, but don't worry. I'll look for that command. I'll share with you. Okay, what are we trying to do? Have we added okay, I think that will give us what I wanted to share. So Henry, Mark, where is the trainees? No, I don't think we got this thing right. Okay, ID Henry. No. That addition didn't work. So look at Henry here. I don't see Will group here. So something didn't work. Let's go back to what we did before.
Did you add it to Will group?
We didn't make Henry a sudo.
You did not.
Eh?
We will not make the trainee group a sudo or the herons for now. We just created it.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought we made them group.
No.
Okay, so let's do it. Now, what's the original assignment? I forgot now. What are we trying to achieve?
To see if Erin and Mark is under trainee.
Okay, let's do that one first. So let's add them to trainees. So what's the command to add them to trainees? Dave can do it for us. Is Dave not a sudo?
Yes.
Yes.
Dave is a sudo. So let Dave do it for us. So what's the command? Sudo
G password.
User. What we want to add them to group, right? So it's user mode, right?
User group.
User mode minus AG.
The name of the
trainees, right?
And the name.
Then Henry. And then we repeat the same for was it Mark?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, Mark.
So now that let's just try one of them. ID Mark. Where is it?
Still.
Okay, it's there now. All right, fine. Then ID Henry. I know you know, but we're just practicing the command. All right. So these two guys are now members of this group trainees. Now, the real reason we are doing all of this is if we have 30 customers that we want to assign the same set of permissions to, then we create the group for customers and we make them all members of that group. So that way we are now assigning permissions through the group, not through one member not through them one by one and doing the same thing 30 times. So that's the whole essence of creating group. So right now we are going to assign permission to some file or some directory to this group trainees. And by implication, it means that everyone who is a member of that group, in this case, Mark and Henry, would inherit the permission of the group. You get it? This is the whole reason we are creating group. You didn't get that?
And so that means also in future, if you just want to give somebody the same permission, you can just add the person to trainees, since trainees already have the permission.
That is the idea, yes. So you cannot have 300 customers, 5 million customers, and then you are managing 5 million customers one by one. No. So to give them permission, maybe access to a particular file, or to a particular resource, or to a particular server, or create a group and make them all members of that group, like we are doing. All right, so now that we have created a group, the same way we have done it for Henry and Mark, our initial customers, every time this company has more customers, we'll just be adding them until maybe someday it grows to 300 members. So to give these people access to a directory and a file, let us do it now. When I say these people, I actually mean this group, the people inside. So let us create a file, or maybe we already have a file, and assign and give trainees, the group trainees, access to that file. Do we have file ls? Did you get the scenario?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see that. Is there any file in there?
Okay, so let's see if there are files here that we can use. So what files do we have? ls minus le, no file. Let's quickly create a file instead of going up and down. Echo or touch. file 3. So now we have a file ls minus la. All right. So, but this file belongs to Dave. So let us change this group now to trainees. That's what we want to do. So we want to change the ownership. Before we get to group, let's first of all deal with user so that we don't jump the gun. Okay. We'll come back to that, don't worry. Now, this file, let us change the owner, the user owner from Dave to Henry, for example. All right. So what's the command to change the ownership of a file from maybe Dave, as it is now, to Henry? Anybody?
Okay, user mode.
Chown.
Yeah.
Sean, right?
Oh,
Okay.
Chion. Sorry, Chion.
Have we done that before?
No, Chion. Sorry.
Okay, so I introduced that for the first time. So change ownership, Sean.
Sure.
All right. So change ownership of the file.
So we can see your screen, sir.
But
who's screen are you seeing?
Can we do it from
We
Dave?
can see it here.
Sir, can we do it from Dave?
Hold on. Can you see my screen? Can you see this screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we want to change the ownership of this file from Dave to maybe Henry. So the command is change ownership, Sean, for what file? Actually, change ownership to Henry for file 3. That's the command. Okay. Anyway, you say permission, then it's sudo. But I used to that, all right. All right, so that's the command. So the command is change ownership, then the
we're doing
the name of the, I know that the tendency is to write the file name first. No, the name of the user first that I want to change ownership to, then the file. All right, that's the command. So if we now do ls minus la, we're going to see that that same file is now owned no longer by Dave, but by Henry.
But it still belongs to the...
Yeah, we're working on the user now. Don't confuse group, leave group. So this is how to change the owner of a file, the user owner. I mean, this, you know, there is the group owner and the user owner. We're talking about the user. All right, so previously it was Dave. All right, let's do one more example. Let's create, let the same Dave create a file and say new, let's create a file and say echo touch. Okay, touch, and call the file new staff 2, right? So we have a file. So if we do ls minus la, the file belongs to, what is it?
Dave. And Dave group.
Oh yeah, look at it. All right. So we created this file for a new person, so what is it? Mark, right? So to now make Mark the owner of this file, the command is sudo change owner of file to Mark of file new. So if it's confusing, you can just highlight or right click. All right, so that's simple enough, right? So that's Sean. Now that, yeah. All right, so now you know how to change the ownership of a file. What about the group? The group.
Change group.
So to change the group is very similar. So it will be sudo. This time will be change group. Or you write the change group in this format. Change group to what?
We can't see you.
You can't see my screen. It's too low, right?
It's too low. Yeah.
It's low.
All right.
Okay.
So let's be seeing the file we're working with. Okay. So this we worked on this, right?
Yeah.
So let's work more on it. So now we know how we were able to change the owner. Now let's change the group. So to change the group to trainees that we created earlier, the command is sudo, because these are administrative commands. So generally, that's why we made you a sudo in the first place. Anything administrative, anything concerning changing user parameters, use sudo. All right, so the command is change group, but change group, you don't type it in full. You type it like this, grp for group. All right, so change group to trainees. For which file? For this one, right? New staff tool. So I just align this, my right click. All right, so let's see the difference now. ls minus la. So we have changed the owner, the group owner of that to this. Previously, it was Dave. It was like you see it now? So what have I achieved by this? By this, it is now possible for, okay, let's even do it. For every member of this group to, I mean, they are the owner now. It's not even a matter of whether it's possible. So they cannot access, all my customers cannot access this file. Maybe this is, maybe not edit. So maybe this is like the menu, the brochure that they have to read to first of all understand how this whole thing works before they start. So I have to make customers and then give them access. Later, I'm going to remove their access to their ability to write. So I give them only read permission, but for now. So let's say, even though this is Mac, this is owned by Mac, let us now attempt to access it as any of the administrators. What should I? Who else do we have here? We have Dave, we have Henry, right?
Yes.
All right. So would Henry be able to, what would Henry be able to do with this file?
You can read and can write on it.
Correct. All right. So are we following? Before we go to prove that, are we following what we are doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can Dave still read those files now? Because I don't think he has permission to.
Nope.
No.
Unless he's a member of trainees, no, he will not be able to because it's no longer a member. He's no longer the owner. Yeah, but who does not understand, please? All right. So if you all
I have a
understand,
question, sir.
yes.
Yeah. So, the last time you did for the putting more than one person into the group,
yes,
it looks like that didn't work well. Until we now put them one after the other. So if you have a large number of persons and
Yeah,
you want to
but
put
you
them,
have the command. Okay, let me look at my note and get the command that did it because we did it last time.
Oh, we did.
Got it
Okay,
right.
okay. I think I missed
We're
it.
not
Okay.
inclined.
Sorry.
So you already have that. That's why I didn't bother to. But
Check that up. I can check that up. So don't
yeah,
delay.
we tried one or two things. They didn't work. Then we got the one that worked, and then we now.
Yeah, I think it was G password.
It was G password.
Yeah, G password minus
Great, great. Oh, great. Yeah, you have the pass. You have the command. All right. So once we have that opportunity again, please note that password so that you lead us through using that. That command. You lead us through using it to add multiple. For the time being, let's continue with this. So, what do we want to do now to test that members of this group are able to read and write this file? Who can lead us?
We need to switch to
to the user you want to use.
Either Henry or Matt and try reading the file.
Okay, so let's switch to Henry.
Okay.
All right, Henry is daily 2022. Okay, I didn't get that, so let's try again. Switch that to Henry. Daily 20. Oh, we didn't assign password to Henry?
No.
Okay, let's quickly do it there. We forgot. All right. So can Dave do it? Yes, Dave can
Henry
do it.
and
So
Mark
Dave,
don't have password yet.
oh, okay, let's quickly do it. It's good practice. You should have been doing all of this by yourself. So whatever we forget, we just learn to do it. It's fine. All right, let's quickly do it. So sudo password to Henry. Password to Henry. Then okay, then do the same thing for Mark. daily. All right, we are good. So what were we trying to do before? We're trying to switch user to Henry. Now Henry has password, so we shouldn't have problem anymore. So what's the password? Daily 20. All right, so we're Henry now. Okay, so what do you want to do now? We forgot to take the path name of that file, but let's see if we can manage. Yeah. So Henry must work from his own directory, right? The fact that he can access a particular, is a member of a particular group doesn't mean giving the permission to work in somebody else's directory. So like somebody observe, yes, first thing. All right, we're fine now. So who will lead us from here? Remember the name of the file we're trying to access? Forgot, right? Okay, let's try. Let's see. But the file is
New staff too.
New staff too.
Sorry?
New staff too.
Well, in what directory? Dave's directory?
It's in there.
It's in training directory.
No, training is not a directory. Training is a group.
Group, yes, sorry.
So let's ls minus la for which place?
Dave.
Home. Dave.
Then the name of the file.
Henry. Mute yourself. All right. So what are we? What happened here? This. Come on. I'm sorry. Henry's not a sudo. Don't worry. Don't worry about sudo. So what we're trying to do?
The name of the file.
Yeah, let's get it now. I was trying to look for it. Okay. To get it so that I'll write it down. Let's
you can just go back to Dave and look for it.
Let's quickly work as a different user who has access. Okay, so yes, how do we access that file? Yes, we didn't write it down the last. Because since we are working as Henry, we'll need to use sudo, but Henry is not a sudo, so we cannot use that. So how do we?
CD.
To Dave.
Let's switch user to Dave. Okay, so switch user to Dave. Daily. I'm sure I'm not confusing some people right now. I'm sure we've lost people. Okay, but switch user to Dave. Daily 20. LS minus LA.
Then I was permission.
Where's the file? What was the file created?
Is it?
This is Henry directory.
This is Henry directory. Yeah.
What was the file created?
Dave. Yeah, that's it.
Where is it?
That's it there.
Was this in Dave?
Yeah, well, no, you can see it.
Minus LA.
That's it right there.
Okay, so this is the place, print working directory. All right, so this is the place we're looking for. This is the place where the file.
Oh, it's in the Mac.
And then the name of the file is, please write this down. Just put this one in front of this.
Can
you write that, please?
Yes.
/home/Dave, then new staff 2. That is the file. We want to see whether a member of this group can access that file. Please write that down. It'll be easier. I can copy and paste, but yeah, maybe I should copy and paste. So, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V.
Hello, sir. Your screen is low, sir.
Okay, give me 1 second. Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. All right, so I have the file. Okay. So what we want to do now is that file that we just copied. We want to see whether somebody else that is a member of the group can access it. Look, so let's switch to that somebody else. Henry, right? So Henry is daily 2022. All right, so this is Henry. Henry, can you access that file? So let's see. Because it's okay.
Henry is not a sudo.
CD.
Oh, Henry is not a sudo. Okay, so let's say cat.
Don't
this
we need
what-
to change directory?
Let's see. Control cat. That file. Permission denied.
It's still in Dave. You didn't
Sorry?
change directory.
We have to change directory, sir. We're in Dave directory.
Okay, got your point, but I'm sure. Okay, CD. All right, so cat. Then, all right. So make this part of your note now, if you have not already written it. For any user to be able to perform administrative function in terms of being able to move from one directory to another directory and performing all of these tasks, that user has to be a sudo. Mhm. All right, so that we don't have this issue of permission to move. All right.
So make Erin and Mark a sudo. Okay.
We make Henry a master sudo now. Because to be another way to look at it now that we are discussing it is that everybody on this Linux machine, as far as operating from this Linux machine is concerned, I'm not talking about once the file is ready and is made public. But as far as operating from this Linux machine is concerned, you are actually an administrator. So to be able to perform root level administration, then you have to have the privilege. You have to be a member of sudo. So if you're a member of sudo, then you should be able to use sudo. Call up the sudo. All right. So we'll come back here and call up sudo and be able to do that. That will not be a problem. We already did that before. But before we continue, let us go back to where we lost people so that we can have a full class. Switch user to EC2 user. What's EC2's password? Daily
2022.
It didn't work, so let's do it again. Switch user to EC2 user.
EC2 user, we didn't set a password for that.
Not set any password for EC2 user.
Oh, okay. All right, so the way out now, let's do that for once because we'll be having, we did this last time. But let's do it again. The only person that can set password to EC2 user is not this small sub user, it's root. So let's quickly go to root. Switch user, sudo root, sudo su, right?
Yes.
And then because Henry is not a sudo, we're having this problem.
You have to
exit.
Exit, yeah. Exit. Dave is a sudo, so you should sudo su should work. Sudo su. Dave is what? All right, so we are root now. CD. CD. All right. So clear the screen. Root assign password to EC2. What's the command?
Password.
Password
user.
EC2 user. All right. Password is daily 2022 hash. Daily 2022. Didn't match. Daily 2022. All right. So now we have EC2 has password. So let's switch user to EC2 user. Then we can use. All right. So what we are learning today, for people that are lost now, I'm sure there are many of you. What we are learning today is this: ls minus la. Okay, we are in the wrong directory, so we are not allowed to do that. So go to our own directory, and then we can now do ls minus la. So what we are learning today, everyone, is we want to create a file here. Now, let us create a file. Touch file 5. So we have a file here called file ls minus la. We have a file here called file. Who is the owner of this file? EC2 user.
EC2 user.
Yeah. Please pardon me. You can relax now, the people in front, so that you can see who is not catching up and be able to. But we are revising all of this because of them. All right. All right. So EC2 user is the owner of this file, the user owner. So for every file, there is a user and a group. So the user owner is EC2 user, the group owner is EC2 user. So that means that if anyone else who is not an EC2 user and not in the group EC2 user attempts to access this file, he would be denied access. So to give anyone else access to this file, what we have to do is either make that person the new owner of this file, so that he will not be able to read and write to the file, or we retain the current owner of the file, but make that new person a member of the group, so that as a member of the group, he's now also able to read and write to the file. So apart from these two categories of people, the user and the group, everyone else is only able to read and not able to change anything in this file. So did you get that, people?
Yes.
Okay. So
Hey,
now,
can you come again once?
So this file means that the only person that can access this file and be able to read and write to this file is the owner of the file. Look at the owner of the file. Out of these two names, the first name is the owner. The second name is the group, user owner, group owner. So it means that this owner, EC2, is able to read and write, but not execute to this file. Then any user account, any user created on this machine that is made a member of this EC2 group is also able to read and write, but not execute to this file. Every other person that is neither the user nor a member of the group, the user owner, a member of the group, is only able to read, that is, can only view the content of the file. So the only way to make any other person able to read and write to this file is to either make that new person, the new owner, or make the person a member of this group. Because members of this group, as you can see, can read and write to this file. Did you get it now? The person who asked. Hello?
Hello.
Are there just 3 of us in class?
No, it's clear.
Everybody's just silent.
If you don't talk, there's no way I can. It's not. You know, okay, thank you for talking. But if you are not talking, maybe you should.
No, you say you're asking the person that asked question. That's why everybody kept quiet.
All right. Please always talk. Okay. So now that you understood that, the next thing we want to do now, is, since we say that no other person can access this, where's the file? Can access this file unless the person meets those conditions. Let us first of all change the owner of this file from EC2 to a new person that should be able to access this file. If a new person accesses this file, all right? If a new person accesses this file, what kind of permissions would that person have on this file? The person will be able to read
and write,
but not execute. Now, what we want to do is let us create a new user, Moses, and remove this file from EC2 user. Take it from EC2 user and assign it to Moses, so that Moses becomes the new owner of the file and will now be able to read and write to this file. All right, so let us do that.
Well, I feel before we do that, we should make Moses, okay, if Moses is suitable.
Let's even create the user account Moses first of all.
Yeah.
All right, so let's create a user account Moses. EC2 is a sudo, therefore you can perform that task. So to create a user account is sudo user what?
Moses.
Moses.
Check your spelling. Moses.
How is it spelled? Like that? Okay.
Yeah, Moses.
Yes. Okay. All right. So that is it. So the user account Moses has been created, but without password, Moses will not be able to do it. So let's change the password. Sudo, let's assign a password. Sudo password. Then what? Moses. Correct. Now let's assign a password so that we don't have too many passwords and we're looking. Let's use the same password. Daily 2022. No, I hope I got that right. Daily 2022. All right, we got that right. Now we have created a user account, Moses. Now let's look at that file again. ls minus. So let us attempt to access this file as Moses. Of course, we will fail because Moses has no place here. Moses, this is not Moses, and Moses is not even a member of this group. So definitely we'll fail, but let's try. So in what way can we access this file 5 as Moses? Let's do it this way. First of all, please mute yourself, we're hearing. So where is this file located in the whole directory tree of this system? All right, so the way to get that is print working directory. So the directory where this file is located is home EC2
user.
The name of the file will not be in front. Let me copy it for you. Control C. Let me paste that. Control V. And then the name of the file will be in front. Can you see my WordPad, my notepad?
No.
File. Okay. File. Okay, so let me share it here since you cannot see. Control C. Control V. So this is the full path name of the file. So anyone that is attempting to access this file, whether it is basically to cut it, must present this path name. That go to the home directory, go to EC2, you find the file there. So let Moses attempt to do this now. I know that's a bad command, but I just left it there so that we can copy it. So for Moses to be able to cut this file, the command is cut. Then, this is not even Moses. Let's turn to Moses.
EC2.
So let Moses take over the operation so that he will not attempt to click to. So how do we remove
Moses?
Switch user Moses. Correct. All right. So for me to know you are Moses, present your password.
2022.
All right. So we are now Moses. All right. By default, you are not allowed to work, even though you are Moses or whatever, even if you are Jesus, you are not allowed to work here. You must go to your own directory to work. So the next thing you want to do is, first of all, do CD. So Moses is now working in Moses directory. Awesome. We are beautiful. We can now start to work. All right. So why did we come here? What was it I wanted to do? We wanted to see if Moses will be able to cut this file, right?
Yes.
So let us do it. Cut, then that file. So we'll take this whole file and we'll say, so it says permission denied. All right. And that's what we expect, because where's the file again? Moses has no place here at all. The only person that will be able to.
I'm sorry, just a quick question. I thought the last 3, they read orders that have read. Maybe Moses fall into that category now. So at least he should be able to read.
Oh, okay, got your point. That's valid.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
we haven't, but we haven't make Moses to become a group
of the EC2.
Yeah. But it's saying, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Let's explore that. Let's find out. Let's test that one later. But for now, let's carry on with this. So that. Okay, so what we want to do now is, Moses failed here. That's the expected result. What can we do to see if Moses, what do you want us to do? Change the ownership to Moses or add Moses to this group? We can do one of them.
Let's just add them to the group.
Okay, let's add Moses to the group.
Then.
Okay. All right, so how do we add Moses to group? Moses cannot add it himself. So let's first of all exit Moses. EC2 can do it. So let's EC2 do it.
Sudo.
Sudo. You want to add Moses to the group EC2. That's what I want to do. So
user
mode. User mode.
G.
Correct.
That's
User mode minus AG.
That's
So which group?
The name of the group.
Can you clear so that we can see, sir?
No, I need to have this thing in front.
The name of the group.
The name of the group is EC2 user. And then who are we adding?
Moses.
Correct. You're right. That is it. So we did that. All right. Sorry. I don't want to clear the screen because I'll need what I have up there. Let me see if I can reduce.
Just gonna tell that person you can minimize your screen. You can reduce it to 50%, then you're gonna see it.
And then we can press enter so that this wants to come up. All right, so now that Moses is a member of EC2, let's go and test now because Moses now belongs here. Right? Yes. A member of the group. Yes. So you should be able to, okay, so let's go and test.
Right.
Yeah, can I point out something, sir?
Yes, go on.
Yeah, earlier on, you told us that we should note it down in our note that whenever we are trying to access another user's directory, we use sudo. So we might likely, before we exit E2 user, can we make Moses a sudo?
Yes,
doing that,
valid point.
Yeah.
Valid point. But right now, okay, let's just go on without doing that first. I know that I made that statement earlier. Let's go on. So, yeah, let's just
switch user to Moses.
Let's just continue with this. Please save your question first. All right. So now we are EC2 user, and then we have completed the work of adding Moses. If you want to test, you can test. I mean, you can cast the appropriate file to see if Moses actually. Okay, but what we want to do now is change to Moses and see if we can now do what we're not able to do. I mean, switch user to Moses. How do we do that? Switch user?
SU Moses.
Moses. And do we have a password for Moses?
Yes. Delete 2022.
Oh, good. Yeah. All right, so we are Moses now. So any difference? Can we now catch what we could not catch before? Let's try.
But we have to.
Oh, okay, CD, yeah, correct.
CD.
Yeah, right. So let's do this. Permission denied. So that brings that validity that, you know what?
To make Moses a sudo.
Yeah, let's go on and solve this one with what we know first. But I'll come back to you with something more powerful. All right, so we're back to your you warned us, right? That we should have done it before coming here. Yes, you warned us. So let's quickly go back. It's all part of the learning and make Moses a sudo and then.
So I'm going to use EC2 user.
Let's exit Moses.
Switch user. Okay, yes.
Moses is not a sudo. Okay,
Exit.
All right, so, but you get it so far, right? There's something I'm not very comfortable with here, but I don't want to discourage you. But I'll just go. Okay, so let's quickly add make Moses a sudo, all right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, let's do it now. How do we do it?
Sudo is not. Yeah.
We, right? That's one.
That's will.
Well.
All right. So that is good. So let's switch back to
Moses.
And then daily 2022. And then what?
ID Moses.
Oh, okay, CD. All right, then same command. All right. Last time we don't do sudo. No, we made Moses a sudo. Password is
Early 2020.
Early 2022.
Okay, so yeah, it worked because we have nothing. What do we have inside there? There's nothing inside.
There's nothing.
Nothing. That's why. So unlike here where it tells you run command or something, here it didn't tell you. So now, yeah, I think the thing we came here to test here, it works because Daily is now able to, unlike before, it was not able to answer. But let's see. There's something wrong here. There's something.
Yes, can I?
I want to.
Yes.
The
Let's
last
go back.
The last command we used, if we have used sudo at the back, it should work as well. Because
yes, because as a sudo, so the problem here is we should not be using sudo. With sudo, you should be able to do anything. So sudo is not the big deal. We shouldn't be using sudo here. There's something I'm not getting right. There's something I'm not getting right. So using that sudo is not the result that I want. No. I should, like somebody pointed out earlier, I should be able to do this without, I want to get a result like this. All right. So I want to enter the system and do some abracadabra and then tell you what I have done to get this result without using sudo. All right. But it doesn't mean that everything will blend. It's just this part that we need to correct. I'll correct something here. All right, but before that, let me see what I need to prepare. Okay, don't worry, I'll correct that. But the time being, let me show you something. Now, you see that for a particular file, let's go back to EC2. Let's work only with EC2 for now until we know what to change. So see, switch user to EC2 user. Password. In fact, let me just exit. Exit. Yeah. There. LF minus LA. Okay, let's go on. Now, if I wanted to, you see that here, EC2 as a user can read and write. EC2 as a group can read and write. And then everyone else is able to only read. So what if I wanted EC2 to, as a user, to be able to read, only read, not write? So I can remove the write permission for EC2 user. And the same for group. Okay, let's focus on user first. So to remove the write permission, I could do chi modify, chmod, and then I can do user, and then I say remove the write permission. No, user, yeah, remove it. Hello? So I can do this. The reason I'm not using sudo here is because EC2 is the owner of the file, so there's no need to run. So this command is chmod means user remove, for user, remove the write privilege. For which file? For file 5. All right. So this is a new command. If we now do ls minus la, we are going to see that for that file, the user no longer has, unlike here, where the user could read and write, the user is no longer able to write. All right. I don't know if you got that.
Yes.
So I can add privileges or remove privileges by using this command, right? So if I wanted the group, if I wanted to remove the privilege of where's the file? Of writing for the group, what would I do? The same thing. So I'll come here, I'll say for that file, chmod, the group will be G, right?
G. Yes.
Okay. So G should not be able to do what?
Right.
So should not be able is minus. So minus what?
W.
Right.
W.
W.
Right. Yes.
So may you explain the U and the G?
Sorry?
U is the user.
Yeah, U is user, G is group.
G is the group.
So for which file? For file 5. All right. So if we now do ls minus la, we are going to see that the user is no longer able. I mean, the group as well. All right. Then I may want to do chmod. Okay, let's see the file ls minus la. So if I want to give both the user and the group right permission, I could do
change mode.
Then what?
Right arrow.
User and
UG.
for user and group.
Yeah.
Then plus, no space, plus. That's right. Correct. What's the name of the file? File. All right. So these are basic, simple commands for changing user permissions. All right. In case you will not understand the more complex one, which is more universal, this is very simple. All right. So if we know ls minus la, we are going to see that same file. So I mean, you can appreciate that. For all? Yeah. Can we try what? Try what?
Execute.
Execute. Yeah, you can, but although there's nothing to execute in. Execute means if there's an executable file like .exe, you can run it. Although there's nothing to run, but yeah, you can do it. Excuse me. So you can say, sorry. You can say group should be able to write and execute. Is that what you want?
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So ls minus la. So execute has come into the picture.
But that change color, it changed the color of the file.
Yes, it's now less secure. So it's just a warning.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we'll get to the level where, yeah, we can try that now. You can actually say, although that's better in the other format, you can say, yeah, don't worry about it. We'll do it the better one. All right. So chmod is another command that you have learned today. And then finally, there is a
change owner.
Change owner. Yeah, we've done channel.
And change group.
Yeah, we've done change owner, change group, and then we've done change chmod. All right. So everything is going on fine, except that I have to come back to you with not using sudo for that command. So just bear with me. I'll come back to you. All right. But in the time being, any questions on the use of these commands?
So, sir, you said we might not use sudo, right? Does it make any difference?
No, you shouldn't use sudo there, because ordinarily using sudo, you should be able to access everywhere and virtually perform all the administrative tasks. So I don't know if you get what I mean.
So, but we have been using sudo. Sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't get it. So is that why? Is it affecting anything?
Yes, because using sudo, you're already using superpower. So even without being a member of
What
that
happened, Fernand?
even without being a member of the group, your sudo power already gave you access to that directory. So we are not able to determine whether it is the sudo. In fact, it's the sudo that is doing it. So the positive results we are getting, maybe you shouldn't be getting positive results. So we'll have to learn to do it without sudo. Just dwell on that thought for a while, you'll get it. So we want to be able to move. I mean, once I'm a member of this directory, for example, of this group, I want to be able to access this file without using the command sudo. That's what I'm saying. If you don't get it, don't worry. I'll repeat all of them. All right. Are you right?
How about execute? The one, write, read, and execute.
Yeah, we just did that now. Somebody asked. You're just joining? We just did that one here.
Oh, yeah. Fine.
And then I explained the meaning of executable.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Fine.
All right.
Thank you.
So let me show you this other one, even if it means revising it in the next class, I don't mind. But let me start now to show you. For this one, let me draw. Okay. So I want to show you the universal way of actually assigning permission. Better than, maybe not better, but more universally accepted than this. All right, so let's see, share. Where's my whiteboard? All right, so can you see my whiteboard?
Yes.
Okay, so we have, you know, those 3 bits: read, write, execute. We have one set for user. We have read, write, execute. One set for group: read, write, execute. Others, correct. So let's put it here: users, group, others, correct. So assume that under here you have a 2, under here you have a 2, under here you have a 2, because 2 is from binaries. Don't worry about all of this. So start with 0 here: 2 raised to power 0, 2 raised to power 1, 2 raised to power 2. So 2, 2, 2, 2 raised to power 0, 2 raised to power 1, 2 raised to power 2. 2, 2, 2, 0, 1, 2. 2 raised to power 2 means 2 times 2. What is 2 times 2? 4. 2 raised to power 1 means 2 in one place. What is that? 2.
2.
Anything raised to power 0 is 1. So let me.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yes, it's 1.
Power 0 is 1.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where the mathematics is stored. Don't worry. So that's 1. We are done. All right. So this also means, so it means that anytime I write the figure 4, I'm referring to read. Anytime I write the figure 2, it represents write. And when I work with the figure 1, it represents execute. That's just what it means. 2 raised to power 2, 4, 2, 1. All right. So for user, for the first 3 bits, when I say 4, it means read. When I say 4 plus 2, it means, which is 6. 6 means read, write. When I say 4 plus 2 plus 1, which equals 7, it means that if I give the permission 7, then the user is able to read, write, and execute. That is, you can do all things. Then for the group bits, if I give the permission 3, it means 2 plus 1. It means that the group is able to write and execute. What if I give the number, sorry,
6.
if I give the number maybe 5, what does that mean?
Read and
execute.
5 is 4 plus 1. Read and execute, correct. So 5 is read. I hope everybody is following.
Yes, sir.
So for this one, if I give 3, what does it mean?
Write and execute.
Everyone else is able to write and execute. Awesome. So it's not really as difficult as I thought it would be, unless the people that are not understanding are not talking. So if I now say give a resource, maybe a file or a directory, the permission 777, which is this is the poorest. In fact, this means there's no security at all. The whole world. Okay, what does it mean? I should actually ask you. So 7, what does it?
They were able to read.
Everybody can read.
Not everybody. Not everybody. This 7, what does it mean?
The user.
The user can.
User has the powers to read.
The user owner can
write, and
They can read and write and execute.
What about this one?
The group can do the same thing.
What's the same thing? Group can do what?
Read, write, and execute.
To what?
One person at a time, guys.
To the file that we're assigning this to. And then others can read, write, and execute. That's it. So now that you know that, which is amazing.
777 again, please. This 777, I don't understand it.
777 means that, okay. So the first 7 means 4 plus 2 plus 1 equals 7. So it means that the user owner can read to the file, can write to the file, can execute the file. That's the meaning of 7. Then the second 7 means the group, everyone that is a member of that group is also able to do 7. What is 7? 4 plus 2 plus 1. Is able to read to the same file, is able to write to the file, is able to execute to the file. And then the last 7 means this group, everyone else who is neither a user owner or in the group is also able to read to the file. So in other words, this file is completely naked to the public. Nothing is covering it. It's very, very insecure. Yeah, sometimes you may want to mix files like this, but just be cautious. And that's why that green light will appear as a warning. You're opening this file. Are you sure that's what you want? So depending
there's somebody
on,
that wants to enter that is getting your attention. Sir.
Yeah. So depending on this number, depending on what, okay, for example, if we change this number to 111, like we're going to do now, if I say assign a file permission of 111 to a file, what does that mean?
Execute.
That's only execute. They have permission to only execute.
Who has permission to execute?
User group and
User,
others.
the group, and others.
Okay. What if of a permission of 666, which is common?
That's right.
Read and write.
User
Read
right
and write.
group, read and
So
write.
user group and others should be able to read
and write.
Nobody should be able to execute. What about 400, which is for security? What does this mean?
The user should be able to read.
No.
Cannot.
Only user is
The user,
only the
user can read.
All
But the
right,
rest
awesome.
of the-
Now let's go and do it now that you understand.
Okay, so I have a question, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay,
you
I've
said
seen it.
400. What about the 00? I don't understand that 00.
0 means the group is not able to do anything, and the others are not able to do anything because
No
0
permission.
means no permission whatsoever.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have a question.
But how do we reach 400 with the number that we have?
With which number?
I mean, with the 42.
Oh, 42. Look at this.
41.
So the 4 is from the user. 4,
Okay.
0, 0. So the 4 here means 2 raised to power 2 is equivalent to read. So
Okay.
it means that the user can only read.
Okay.
Huh?
So I have a question, sir.
Does that mean the file will be invisible to the group and other users?
Invisible. Invisible. Maybe. But
They can read it, but they can't just write and.
they can't do anything
It
with
won't
it.
be invisible. They will see it,
They
but
can't do
cannot
anything with it.
do anything.
Because usually, like you will see later, this file will first of all exist in some form before you, everything we are teaching, you are going to practice in DevOps. Before you now convert this, after you convert it to 400 for security, because everything you are doing from going now, you're not even doing anything yet. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sir. So, Mr. Akin, I have a question, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen a situation where there's chmod 0466.
466.
After the 04.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, we'll talk about this later. Let's not confuse us. Yes. But we are referring to this other one for now.
Okay.
So 4 bits, what does this initial bit mean? We'll talk about. All right. But I'm glad you're asking questions here because you need to get it right because you get to implement. Implementation is very simple. It's just understanding this. All right. So everyone knows if I say give a file a permission of 000, what does that mean?
Nobody is able to.
Nobody.
They can read, they can do anything with the file.
Nobody can do anything with the file, right?
Nobody can do anything.
Yes.
All right. Of course, it's useless. Why would you want to have a file that nobody can do? All right, that's good. What about a file of 212? What does it mean? File permission of 212.
Read and execute.
User can read, the group can
That's a
execute,
right.
and the others can read.
No,
Execute.
Right.
No,
Yes.
you are not getting it.
Read,
One person,
write.
please.
Can you write the number down? Can you write the number down?
Huh? 212, what does it mean?
The owners can write.
Hold on, one person, please.
Oh, 212.
User can write
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
user can write.
Yeah.
and can read.
The group can execute and others can write. User can write.
The group can execute.
Execute.
User owner.
No, it's
Group can
2-1.
execute and others can write.
Yes.
User can
User
write.
So the 2 here is right. So user can write.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Then 1.
Yeah.
Group
Write,
can
execute,
execute.
Oh,
And then 2.
And
The
others can write.
Right.
Right.
User can write.
So you get it now, right?
Group
Although those
can-
are not common, but it's your file. It's up to you what you do with it. The common ones are, there are some that are common. All right, but I just wanted to exercise your mind. All right, so let's go and implement now. So let's share screen. So we're still working as EC2, right?
Okay.
So this thing that we did earlier, let us, I want the whole world to be able to see and modify this file. So I'm going to say chmod, all right, 777. Then file, this.
So we can see your screen.
Okay, let me clear this screen.
What is it?
LS minus L.
Find your screen now.
All right, so do you see it now? Do you see this screen?
Yes.
Okay. So if I say chmod 777 file 5, what does that mean? Let's see. LS minus LA. This is what it means. So the user owner is able to read, write, execute.
The group can read, write, execute.
Read, write, execute, and then the whole
Others
world.
can read, write, execute.
You do this on the wrong file, the next day you are sacked. You never get into the office. So that's why even the system is warning you. All right. And then if you now say, who told you to do that? Our information is needed to the whole world. What do you want to do? And then you quickly want to correct it. So who can help me correct to? Only the user should be able to read. No one else should be able to have anything to do with this file. Whether it's visible to them or not visible, they should not be able
change
to
mode
anything.
700.
G mode
4000.
400.
Yeah, so chmod 400.
400.
5. So that is it. You are correct. LS minus LA. It means that it has turned from being green to normal color now. Only the user can read, and this is this is what your key pair should look like. If your key pair is not in this format, you'll not be able to use. Anyway, it's a security mode. Correct. All right. So who can help me change? Let me see a file. Okay, let's quickly create a file. Another file. In fact, let's change to. Do we have time? Yes, we have time. Let's switch user to Mac. Password. All right, so this is Mac. Where can Mac work from? From CD? Please mute yourself if there's noise in your background. Okay. All right, so okay. So CD, right? So Mac is working from his own user directory. LS minus LA, no file at all. Who can help us create a file?
Touch it.
Echo.
Okay, file.
This is a file. So what? So a file called
file 4.
Mark1. LS minus LA. We have a file called Mark1, and it contains that text. All right. So who is the owner of this file?
Mac.
What group owns this file?
Mac.
All right. Now, this is the default permission that comes with every file that you create. This is the default permission, but you don't want this permission. All right. So you don't want, Mac does not want people to be able to edit the file. Only Mac should be able to, only himself should be able to edit. As for the world, he has no business with the world. So this is going off complete. So what should he do? What's the command? So
chmod.
To achieve that. Chmod. Oh, let's see the file so that will come. LS minus L. Yeah. Chmod. Yeah. So Mark wants to be able to read and write to the file, but Mark should be able to read and write to the file because it's his file. All members of the group are his trainees, so they should be able to view and not modify, just like me sharing my note with you. View the note, learn from me, but don't modify. What about other people that are not my trainees? I don't care about them. So I don't, what should I do? What's the correct?
640.
640.
620. 640.
640.
620.
640.
Okay, let's try that. Mark 1.
40.
All right, so is this what I want? Let's see, ls minus la. So Mark is able to, no, this is not what I want. This is not what I asked. Wrong. So your supervisor, your manager will warn you. You're not doing it right. So who can help?
640.
610. 610?
640.
640. All right, let's try. Is that what I want? ls minus la. I should be able, yeah, correct. This is correct. So that's how to use the number permission. 640, correct. All right, but this is security file. I just want to be able to read it. It's too, yeah, there's no doubt for security. Security prone to modify. Just adding a full stop somewhere will just destroy it. You don't want to be able to write to it at all. So what do you want to do with the file?
Chmod 400.
440.
400. Then the file, right? Mark 1. All right, so ls minus la, you are only able to read, nothing else. This is beautiful. That's it. All right, so that was simple, right? So you are now able to, you do not only understand how permissions work at the user level and at the group level, you are now also able to assign permission. Even though we are dealing with files most of the time, it also affects directory. So I can actually say make directory and call it directory 1, and then ls minus la, and then it comes with the default. And I can say, no, this is a directory. Why should the whole world be, okay, I should be able to read, write, and execute to the directory. And then I can say, you know what, this directory should be available only to me, not to anyone else. So I can do the same thing. I can do exactly the same thing. So for that directory, I can say, yeah, ideally, you want to be able to write to directory, actually. What's a directory without being able to write? But only you. So if you do that for directory 1, what do you get?
1.
1.
You didn't put directory 1. Just put directory.
Oh, okay. All right. So what do we have now? ls minus la. So it's the same thing. Whatever we have discussed, and however you have understood it for file, is the same thing for directory. All right, so these are the permissions. This is the way to assign permissions to the file. Any question on the permissions?
Yeah, still about the 0466. What's the
046? We've answered that now. I said when the time is right, I'll show you what the 0 means.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So I had a question regarding directory.
So we need anybody to understand this one. Yes.
Yeah, so if we change the permission for the directory, does it affect the files, the content of that directory also?
If you change the what? The permission for the directory?
Say in directory 1, we have a file called file 1, and we make directory 1 open to everybody.
Let's do it.
Doesn't mean file 1 is now open to everybody.
Let's do it. Let's do it. No, the file permissions are uniquely different from the directory. Well, let's show everybody what you are saying. So we have a file directory 1. Let's change directory to directory 1. All right. So here now we'll create a file and say echo my test file and put it in a file. Call the file test 1. Right? If we do ls minus la, so it came with its own default setting, different from the directory setting. So yeah, that answers the question, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So they are different set of permissions because the read for directory is not exactly the same thing as the read for file. The read for directory just means that you can list the content of the directory. The write to directory means that you can save files in it. So because they don't mean exactly the same thing, they are different. Good question, yeah? Yeah, that question.
Is there any case where we can execute a directory?
Execute directory. What does it mean to execute a directory?
Yeah.
What would that mean? No, I can't think of executing a directory having any significant. Okay.
Can only
Thank you.
execute an exe file.
Yeah. Execute is the executioner.
Executable file.
It's related to file, not to directory.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, so but what if the file is inside the directory but it's executable?
And that's what we just did. That's what he just asked, and I we just demonstrated here. We just demonstrated that directory property is independent of file property.
Okay, can we also try to pass like the permission after creation of the file, after creating a file?
Yeah, that's what we'll be doing. So we'll create the file first, know what permission it already has, and then we'll now modify the permission to what we want. Is that what you mean?
No, after creating a directory, and we create a file inside the directory.
Like we did here now, yeah? Are you with us?
What I understand is
we didn't actually pass any permission right here. We just created the file and just checked the permission.
If we don't like what we want, we'll not change it. So let's change it now. So let's chmod to, we don't like this. I want the whole world to be able to read, write, and execute. So I'm going to chmod to 777, the name of the file. Is that what you mean? Yeah,
No,
why if the file can take the directory?
The directory itself, after
let
we
him
have
talk,
done
please. Let him talk
permission.
so that I can. Okay.
After we had created the file in the directory, then we changed the permission of the directory. Let's see if it will have effect on the file.
No, it will not have effect. No need. You can try that on yourself. By yourself, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Directory, the meaning of read for directory is different from the meaning of read for. You must be coming from Windows background, right? No, it doesn't work like it works in Windows.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah, questions? Okay. All right, so, wow. That's cool. So we finished what I have to teach you under permissions. All right, then we'll go to packages. But before we go to packages, next lecture, what we're going to do is we're going to look at this issue I said I would resolve for you so that we don't use sudo there. And then there are some commands that we did not practice earlier on. Let me show you so that you can go ahead and.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
I have a question. Are we still gonna talk about the Umax value? How Umax value affects the permissions on the file?
Umax, what's Umax?
Max, M-A-S-K.
Oh, mask. Okay.
Yes, mask.
Well, if you have specific question, ask it.
No, actually, I don't have any question. I'm just saying, like, are we still gonna?
I'm not sure where
that's
that
okay.
is covered. I will explain why some of these things are like that. Okay. So, yeah, man. I thought I saw some people that I wanted to learn. Okay, I wanted to share with you what we'll do that we jumped, right? Are you seeing my Word document?
No, sir.
No.
So let me share my Word document. Let me share my Word document. All right. So you have all of this in your note already, but I observe that. All right, so you can practice this, and then if you have issues, let's discuss them together, or we can practice them together in class. So to be able to locate a file, you need to first of all load this package. All right. So sometimes you see people are able to find. We had an issue like that in class, and we're trying to look for a file. What directory? Okay. So we'll try that together in class, and then we'll try all of this. Where is that? Yes. We didn't practice all of this. We didn't practice this. How to tar files, how to bond files together, reduce the space they occupy, and then move them to another directory and then add them. So we'll practice this. So I'm showing you this so that you can remind me to say, I said we'll practice. So we'll practice all of that together, and then we'll practice this one. All right. So it's likely that I'll spend the next class practicing all of that. And then the assignment that I gave to you to practice on your own, those simple commands, we'll try some of them together in class. So that we're now left with the last topic, which is packages. Yeah, we'll discuss about this later. Now, let me show you something. Linux used to be, or rather, it's still. Let me share. Okay, so I don't know how versed some of you are with Linux, but the thing about learning Linux is cloud. In cloud is that in cloud, so many services are now available that cloud is taking care of on behalf of Linux. So that even within the Linux itself, you don't really need to know like 100% of Linux before you can move to cloud. And that was why I said, even what you are learning now is already above what you need, but we'll go ahead and learn anyway. It's never useless. So cloud environment, even though you know, okay. So in non-cloud environment, in traditional system, you have your server. So your Linux system is running the server, and your Linux system is providing every utility, every package, every service that this server needs, from security to all the different packages, FTP, Samba, and so on and so forth. Everything will be provided by yourself. It's just like you own a house, you are providing your own electricity, your own water system, your own generator, your own security. That's what the traditional system is. Now, in cloud, you now have all of these services provided in cloud, your HTTP, your ports, your data, all of them, in fact, over 2,000 different packages. So that in running your Linux in cloud, the things that in traditional networks we used to configure within the Linux system, we now learn them as part of cloud and no longer as part of this traditional system. Do you get it?
Mm-hmm.
So that is why it may appear like, are we going to do, although this is the first question, but I don't know, are we going to do so thing? I'll say no. The reason it is no is because we are no longer doing it the old school way. The new school way now has a port or a service in cloud that does that. So it's no longer done within the Linux machine. So all the services that should have been learning within Linux, if we were learning Linux like maybe 3 years ago, are now provided as part of cloud services. And employers are now really more interested in what you can do with cloud services. And therefore, you should spend the majority of your effort learning how these services in cloud work and how to automate them to work. But as far as the Linux server is concerned, you already know enough to be able to pass through this cloud and be able to manage this Linux server. So you may have heard of things, maybe not, like SE, terms like SE Linux, which is security system in Linux, security environment, which is a broad and complex topic on its own within traditional networks. But in cloud, the securities are already taken care of by so many layers of cloud, including what you call the VPC, Virtual Private Cloud, which is the security, your own secured network in cloud. All right. So a topic like SE Linux, for example, not just in this class, it's no longer a popular topic within Linux because it is now taken care of by the cloud environment. All right. So if you bring up, maybe you are, there's a certification called Linux Administrator. There's another one called System Engineer, Linux Certified System Engineer. So maybe one or two of you are already at that level and you are expecting, no. The engineering of Linux to that depth is already taken care of by cloud. So in other words, Linux is now part of cloud and no longer an independent system where you have to provide all of these things by yourself. All right. So I don't know if I'm able to pass the message, but the message I'm passing across is Linux by itself is not everything that you need. No, it's just the first step to actually getting into the things that you need to be a full cloud engineer, and not being just a Linux engineer is so limited in what you can do. Your competitors are here, and this place is offering so much. It's offering so much that you cannot afford to do things independently and fully dependent on Linux. So Linux by itself is not it. But Linux as a means to getting to understand cloud and be able to explore all of these services available in cloud within your Linux server. That is where the real thing is. All right. Yeah. I don't feel you needed to understand this concept so that you know where it's not just a matter of running commands. You should have a broad idea of where you stand in the whole IT paradigm, okay, where you belong and what is possible with you. All right. Any questions? I don't even know how to let people in. Yeah, we can take questions because right now we have like 2-3 more lectures to go, and then we are done with everything you have in your manual. Okay, the ones that.
You know, initially we were trying to do the creating a group and giving them permission so they can read those files, and I think we got we don't really finish.
Yes, I'll come back to you with that. I'll find out. I'll work on the pseudo thing so that we'll not use it anymore. So I'll come back with that next week. I mean, day after tomorrow, along with the revisions that I showed you earlier on in the notes. So that way we know everything we know very well, and then we can now learn the new topics. Share. Yeah, any question with the commands that we practice today? Or that we have practiced before, apart from that particular? All right, no more questions? All right, so that's it for today. I'll let you go practice, and then I'll modify the note with the new findings I'll make right now, and then I'll share the notes with you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
All
you,
right,
sir.
everyone. You're welcome.
Have a good night.
Thank you
And
so
then
much.
feel free
Thank
to
you
have
very
issues.
much.
Yeah. You're welcome, guys. Bye now.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Akin.
Thank
You're
you very
welcome.
much. Bye.
Bye, everyone. All
Mr.
right.
Akin, please, I've been sending you message, but you've not replied.
What's the message about?
It's private.
Okay, let's try again. Try it again. I'm with
Okay.
his phone now. I'll see. Try to.
Okay.